What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds, where today I bought something completely out of my league. Something that I never thought I'd be able to buy in my lifetime. And something that I hope you guys are going to enjoy. And I got it for a steal of a deal. That's right, a 2008 Bentley Continental GT convertible with a W12 engine, twin turbo, for $24,000. I decided when I went to buy this next batch of cars, I was going to do something a little more high class. I bought a little SLK 250. I don't know if you'd call that high class or not. It's cheap, 10 grand. I think it's a great deal for an awesome little car. And then shortly after I bought the SLK, I found this, my 2008 twin turbo Bentley Continental GT, something like 572 horsepower. It's crazy. It's not particularly fast by today's standards, but it is all-wheel drive, and it is a W12. It's basically two of your Volkswagen VR6s stuck together with 12 cylinders. So, in twin turbo, don't forget the twin turbos. There's absolutely no room under the hood to work on anything. It's probably one of the most complicated cars in existence and the least user-friendly to work on. On the plus side, the shipper just delivered it to me literally 20 minutes ago. I've had time to drop the top, and that was it. We still have to take it on a test drive, and I want to really check it out in person with you guys instead of cheating and taking it home and driving it for a week and then coming back later. So this is what $24,000 will get you at a dealer auction. I bought this from ACV Auctions, and I don't remember where it came from. I think it was Florida. It's a high mileage unit. It's got 90,000. Yeah, you heard me right. 90,000 miles on the odometer. You want to talk about a high-risk car? This is it. It's got a full set of Pirelli P0. I think they're Pirelli P0s. Let's take a closer look. They are P0 Rosso tires. 275/40 ZR19s on the front, and on the back we've got, Continental Extreme Contact. We got mismatched tires, guys. DWS 06 Plus, and if you take a look at my Bentley emblem here, it's it's a little tore up. I think those emblems are supposed to stay right side up. It looks like this one isn't, this one's coming out. It's what's happening. Oh, these are not the ones that float. No, these just pop in, and then, well, great. I probably should have just left well enough alone. So just like everything else on this car, the center cap, super difficult to figure out where it goes. But we got it in. So a Pirelli, a Continental. Let's see what we got over here. We have a Pirelli. I'm going to assume a Continental. Bingo. Okay, so we've got a pair of tires on the back, pair of tires on the front. They both look pretty good. Body looks good. How about the interior? Well, surprisingly, it actually looks pretty good too. Well, there's a little bit of wear on the driver's side. It's also a little dirty on the driver's side. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm sure it'll clean up just fine. But you can see the, needs a good cleaning. Same thing on the steering wheel. Looks like it needs a pretty good cleaning. I'm sure we're going to have some warning lights on the dash because, well, Bentley things. The door card looks good. Let's pop the hood. And let's take a look at this beautiful, massive, impossible to work on W12 that's under the hood. Should just pop this Bentley logo up, and up the hood goes. And you're immediately greeted with, wow, yeah, a 6.0 liter twin turbo W12 engine. That is, that's something. So yeah, if you need to do any work, looks like you're taking the top of the engine off before you can get to anything, including simple things like spark plugs, coils. Yeah, those are going to be buried under the intake plenums right here. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Air filters should be hidden under there somewhere. Overall, though, doesn't look too bad, guys. This thing actually looks to be in pretty decent shape. Can we close the? Great. The hood won't close. I figured out why the hood wouldn't close. It wasn't the car's fault. it was 100% my fault. The hood latch was pulled back. It didn't go all the way back in. So now that it's all the way in, maybe we can pop the trunk and see if there's anything back there. I know nothing about this car. I have no idea how to use it. We've got two keys that look exactly like this. These kind of look like, I don't know, Audi. Well, I guess that makes sense. This is a VAG car, a VAG Volkswagen Audi group. You've got the books. Is that it? Oh, wow. We've got a 6-disc CD changer. We've got the navigation unit. I'll be interested to see if it has the nav in there. You have your sports tuned suspension. You have your suspension up and down button. You have heated seats, your top up and down, parking brake, right mirror adjust, left mirror adjust, heated mirrors, and then I guess if you turn it down, that folds the mirrors in. Obviously, infotainment. You have dual zone climate control. I don't know what this button does with the people on it. Not a clue. I don't know what that button does. We have defrost for the windshield, defrost for the rear window, different function buttons for the stereo system, climate control down here, radio down here. Of course, buttons on the steering wheel, menu, escape, OK, up and down, volume, cruise control on, off, and cancel. Horn, maybe the power has to be on. I have no idea. What else do we have? We've got a little cubby hole right here. We've got a PowerPoint and 2 pennies. I'm already making money on this deal. Two pennies. Let's see if there's anything inside it. Oh, there is. Ooh, gross. Oh, there's keys to master locks. All right, some chapstick. Interesting. All I want to know is, how do you open the trunk? You have trip, PDC, and ESP. So that's going to be your tripometer, your parking distance control, and your electronic slip protection or skid protection programming. Over here, we have headlights, fog lights, and the dimming for the instrument cluster as well. Now, as far as how to get into the trunk, I don't know. Maybe it's just a key, because there's no button. We've got lock and unlock. We've got a panic button over here. And it's rare you get something like this with 2 keys. I've got both the keys to this, which is really nice. I think you just push. Uh-oh. You're supposed to be able to push the Bentley button, and it should open the trunk. No, that's not going to work. Maybe I have to turn the car on, have the ignition on. So there's 2 ways of starting this car. You can take your blade key, you can put it in the ignition, and you can crank it on. Or the other way to do it is to come over here and push the start stop. And there it is. We're immediately greeted with a light bulb. I don't know what that means. I guess we have a light out. A light bulb up there. We have a check engine light right there. It says the hood is open. Oh, wait a minute. We've also got a parking brake failure. Oh boy. Is that it? I think that's it. It doesn't seem to be complaining about the hood being open anymore. Oh, here's a trunk button right here. Uh-oh. That doesn't work either. It's unlocked. Yeah, the trunk. Uh-oh. The fuel door doesn't work either. Oh boy. So are you telling me we can't put gas in this? We can't open the trunk, we can't open the fuel door, we can't put gas in it. That is going to be a huge problem. Let's try with the key. Let's shut it off. Let's take the key fob and see if it makes any difference. All right. No, the trunk still doesn't open. And neither does the fuel door. Okay. Well, it just so happens the car has got 1/8 of a tank of gas, and being that it's a W12, it's probably going to need gas very, very soon. No. Nothing. And this? Nothing either. So we've run into our first set of problems. I wanted to take you guys for a ride, but I figured we would go to the gas station, which is quite a ways away. But if I can't open the trunk and I can't open the gas tank, yeah, that's a big problem. Do you see that? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I went and I grabbed the other key. I thought maybe there's something wrong with the transponder in the key fob. I don't know. Uh-oh. Well, maybe we have to have the key in the car. So here's the other key. It's very worn out. You can tell that this key's been used for this car for a long time. I gotta have my foot on the brake, don't I? Several keys found. Well, it says the hood's open, the trunk's open, the door's open. So I would assume there's an emergency gas tank release in here somewhere. This is great. Oh boy, well, if there is, where is it? There's the battery. It's got an interstate battery. And no, I don't see anything for releasing the fuel tank. And we're gonna have to get in there, guys. Either that or I'm gonna have to do some pretty quick Googling, because this car, well, hell, I don't even remember how this goes, but either way, this car, it needs gas. Let's see if it'll close itself. We'll make sure it opens itself one more time. I mean, this is already an improvement. Uh-oh. There it goes. So it is working. Huh. Well, maybe I just need to get a screwdriver. I mean, if we need to get into it bad enough, right? Just pry it. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to pry it open. Give me a few minutes, guys. Let me play with it. Let's see if I can figure out how to get the gas tank open, because we got to put gas in it. Well, thanks to YouTube, I think we may have figured out how to open this gas tank lid. So I saw a guy on YouTube, a Russian guy. He pulled that cover off. Then he reached down in here and he just, well, that's what he did. He pulled this. Bingo. There we go. Let's see, it wants unleaded 91 only. I think we'll treat her to some 93. What do you guys think? It sucks you've got to open the trunk to be able to get to it. But I mean, it's quick enough, and what do you expect? It's a high mileage Bentley. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of quirks that come along with a high mileage car like this. Why don't we put the top up real quick and see how the top looks, even though I do prefer the top down on this car. Well, the top is going up. Something is beeping. I have no idea why. Hopefully this works. Yeah, please. This is nerve-wracking, guys. It worked? Yes! Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It looks like we have working air conditioning. We do. Once I put the top up, it's like the air conditioning came on automatically. The screen seems to work. What about navigation? Do we have nav? Never play with things while you're driving. That's fine. How do you... There we go. Oh, that's the navigation. Really? That little tiny... Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. Yeah, we have working air. Horn works. Looks like it still thinks the hood was open, though. It's not. We do have a light on. Let's see if the turn signals work. Sounds like they're working. It sounds like we've got something on the right that's out. Let's go check that out real quick. And we'll turn the headlights on as well. So one of our turn signal bulbs must be burned out. We do have lights. We have lights, lights, lights. I don't see any turn signal on this side. There's a turn signal bulb right there in the front that's burned out. So I can't wait to find out how difficult that is to change. Let's see if it's working in the back. It is. Turn signal bulb right there. Looks like the brake lights are working. Very nice. Here's your convertible top. I know you guys wanted to see it. Probably figured it's destroyed, and it's not. The top is actually in really good shape. Take a look. Sam Crack told me, he said, you got to be careful with these because these tops are super expensive and they're not the easiest to change. And he told me he has one of these brand new that he bought for another project. It does have a tiny little, well, I guess it is a hole. It doesn't look like it goes all the way through, but it does have a tiny tear in those places. Looks like the rear window is in place like it's supposed to be. There's no tears over here. The seams look good. I mean, honestly, for $24,000, I bought a Bentley. I can't believe it, guys. Car prices are crashing. The car market is in shambles right now. Nobody's spending money. Nobody's buying anything. It's a horrible time for dealers, but it's a great time if you're in a unique situation like I am to buy cars that people just don't want. You've got your paddle shifters right here. They're stationary, so even when you move the wheel, they're always there. Down and up. Guys, are you ready to take this thing for a drive? Me too. Let's get on the road. God, the way that sounds. The Bentley logo greeting you. Several keys found. Air conditioning. We'll turn the AC on 70. And we'll turn it on auto and just let it do its thing. Parking brake, error, check engine light. You already know we're gonna have to check into all of that. And let's see, we have 90,213 miles on the odometer. I'm gonna reset the trip to 0. Let's take her for a quick spin. How do you like that Bentley logo on top right there? I love that. That is just, it's elegant. Now, I've never driven a Bentley before. The most exotic car I've ever owned was a 2006, I believe, Aston Martin V8 Vantage. And it was a great car. I loved the car, I did. But let's be real. An Aston Martin Vantage is not a Bentley Continental GT. Wow, okay. I'm not even going 40. All right, calm down. I'm taking it easy. I cannot believe that I'm behind the wheel of my own Bentley. I also can't believe that I was able to get this car for this cheap. This is like stupid cheap money. What kind of car can you go out and buy today for $24,000? Honestly, like, what are you going to go buy for $24,000? I suppose you could probably buy several Maseratis, probably a Maserati Quattroporte. You could probably buy maybe a decent Maserati Gran Turismo. And those are great. And you could possibly maybe find a cheap Aston Martin V8 Vantage. I think I paid around $25,000 or so for the one I had. But really, who would have thought that you could get a Bentley convertible with a 12-cylinder twin turbo engine for 24 grand? And I'm probably the only person driving around in this town with a Bentley. And it roars. It roars. We're already going 60, and it does. Oh, am I going 60? Really? It sure doesn't feel like it. I'm going 50 now. No kidding. Thankfully, we're getting to a point back here where it's nothing but just empty roads, straightaways, and you know, we could have a little fun with it. But I got to be careful because I've only got 1/8 of a tank of gas, and the nearest gas station, it's probably 20 miles away, maybe more. The car rides like an absolute dream. These roads are really bad. Most cars don't like them, but this car, it just floats down the road like it's nothing. All right, what do you say we give it a little throttle? I got to be careful again. I don't want to run out of gas, but let's just lean on the throttle a little bit and see what it does. Wow. So I kind of expected, that was a little anticlimactic for me. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of expected it was going to pin me back in my seat. You're talking about almost 600 horsepower from this 12-cylinder engine. And that's not what it was. It kind of reminded me of an old school S-Class that I had, an old S600. Very similar. The power wasn't like pin you back in your seat. It wasn't that kind of power. It was just really linear, just a smooth power band. That's what this one feels like. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't move. In fact, if I slow down a little bit, it might help. It might help if we do a pull going slower than 60 miles an hour. By the way, the brakes feel phenomenal. No vibrations in the brakes at all. In fact, this car has no noises, clunks, rattles, vibrations, nothing. 90,000 miles in a Bentley. And it rides this good with cold air and a working convertible top. All right, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Let's get it down to about 30. I'll kind of hit it from 30 and see what it does. Ready? There we go. There we go. Okay. And there it is. And there it is. I also have the suspension in comfort mode, not sport mode. So, okay, there it is. So I'm here to tell you, she's running on all 12. The check engine light is not flashing, although it is on. You know we're going to have to run a diagnostic to try to figure out what's going on with that. It definitely runs on all 12 cylinders, although I would be willing to bet somebody's probably been putting in some really crappy 87 or 89 octane gasoline. I think it'll wake it up a little bit when we get to the gas station and put in some 93. So I'm going almost 70 miles an hour. The temperature's good. All the gauges look fine. And again, I really can't describe how great this car rides. This thing, I guess it's just because I've never driven or ridden in a Bentley before. I'm shocked. I've seen a few people come out with some horrible reviews on this car, and believe me, I respect their opinions. I have no doubt that these cars can leave you feeling really sour. It's not like I haven't seen enough videos from Hoovie's Garage or from Tavarish or from Sam Crack to last me a lifetime and tell me that the last thing I should ever buy is a Bentley. I've seen the videos, I understand the headache, but I couldn't help myself. It's like that forbidden fruit. I just had to taste it. So just for kicks, I put the transmission in sport mode. I didn't have it in sport mode before, and I'm here to tell you, sport mode definitely makes a difference. The shifts seem to hold longer, and they seem to just be a little more crisp. We're cruising almost 80 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour down the road. You can hear almost no wind noise, almost no noise at all. The car is unusually quiet for a convertible, and cruise control works. Almost everything on this car works, including, I know I already mentioned it, but the air conditioning feels great. And did I forget to mention the iconic Breitling clock in the middle that is also working? How much is that clock worth, guys? You tell me. I don't know. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to turn this camera off. We're going to get to the gas station, and we're going to put some premium 93 octane in this girl, and maybe we'll hit a McDonald's drive-thru. All right, we're going to clean the windshield while we're here because I can't hardly see anything out of it. I've got a parking light flashing on my dashboards. That's concerning. Hopefully we can get the trunk open, because I don't think we have enough gas to get back otherwise. We've just driven 20 miles to get here. And if I can't get that trunk open and we can't get gas, well, we're going to be in really big trouble. The car is running great. We still have a parking light. Let me see there. A parking brake light on the dash, a low fuel light, a light bulb out, a check engine light, and the parking brake light is just constantly flashing. Fuel, yep, empty, and it looks like average about 10.4 miles a gallon. I'm not sure what the fuel economy is supposed to be on this, but it's got to be better than 10. All right, let's see how this is going to work, guys. Hopefully I pulled up close enough. Let's first try to open this. All right, once that's open, we can reach down in here and pull on this plunger, which should open this. Now that this is open, we can open this, and then I guess just sit that right there. And now we should be good. Let's see. You know what I'm thinking, guys? I just got a new credit card today. This literally just came in. This is my new American Express Gold. That's right. No limit on this card. This is an unlimited card. Let's see if we can use it. I feel like it's the right card to break in this car with. Let's play pay outside, It's going to make me insert the card. All right. Now we're going to find out if it works, because I don't remember if I activated this card or not. Please work. Please. Remove card. Authorizing. Come on, do it. Do it. Remove nozzle. Here we go. $3.29 a gallon for 93 octane. And we're just going to fill this bad boy up. It's practically empty. So it should be interesting to find out how much this thing is going to hold. We're going to let this thing count up. We'll come back when it's done. That's it, only 20 gallons. Guys, if this thing really only gets 10 miles a gallon, you're going to get 200 miles to a tank. And honestly, that wasn't too bad. $68. That's not the end of the world. But for 200 miles, wow. Well, hopefully she enjoys some fresh 93 octane gasoline. I think I'm going to drop the top. I cleaned the windshield, so we should be ready to hit the road, guys. Let's go to McDonald's right over there, and we'll get ourselves a 99-cent cheeseburger. Do they even have 99-cent cheeseburgers anymore? I don't know. But that's what we're going to do. Man, the look that this car is getting around here is out of this world. All right, I said we're going through the McDonald's drive-thru. All I'm getting is a 99-cent cheeseburger. Let's see if they even have one of those anymore. I don't think they do. I'm not even getting anything to drink.
I'll be with you in just one moment.
Thank you.
I already so sorry for that. Wait, how may I help you?
Can I get a cheeseburger with no onions, please?
All right, anything else?
That'll be it.
Well, that's the first one, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't know how much that's going to cost, but I guess we're about to find out here. Let's see if I can do this without scraping the rims on this car. Oh, I don't even think I can. Can I make it up to the window? I can. Bingo, there we go. How's it going? All right, let's see how much a cheeseburger is. Just a cheeseburger by itself was $2.29. Wow. $2.29 for a cheeseburger. How about that? So I got my $2 cheeseburger, and it tastes so much better in a Bentley. I'm kidding. Isn't this what all the YouTubers do? I was just blasting Leonard Skinnard in the drive-thru of McDonald's. Sweet Home, Alabama. And the people are looking at me like, it doesn't make sense. Here's this guy that looks like he's broke, right? I'm in the same plaid type of shirt I always wear, some blue jeans, some tore up tennis shoes. I ordered a $2 cheeseburger, and I'm in a Bentley blasting Sweet Home, Alabama in the drive-thru. That is me, ladies and gentlemen. I may have nicer toys. I may have a little bit of credit, and I may have some nicer things than I did back in the days of living in a trailer park. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. Ain't nothing changed except the amount of toys that I can buy. I'm still the same person I've always been. I'm one of those people, money has never been able to change me. And here's another thing. I could go back to being poor tomorrow. I could lose everything and go back to being broke. And you know what? Instead of being one of those guys that's like, I'm going to end it all. No, are you kidding me? I'm going to do it again, man. I did it once. I'm going to build it all back up again. Now, I'm not in any kind of financial trouble or anything like that, but I'm just saying if it happened, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how rich or wealthy you are. You can always be brought down. And I keep that in the front of my mind every single day. When you come from the type of places that I come from, when you've been homeless, when you've lived in abandoned houses and burnt down houses, when you have been as down and out as you could possibly ever be, you learn when you finally make it to appreciate each and every day for what it is, which is a gift and nothing more. It can be taken away from you at a moment's notice, and you would do well to remember that. Most of us are no more than just a couple, 3 paychecks away from losing everything. And I'm here to tell you, if I lost it all tomorrow, I'd build it all right back up again from scratch, and I would love every minute of the challenge doing it. I've enjoyed this journey, and now I can finally start enjoying the fruits of my labor. And yes, for someone like me, a high mileage, old, worn out Bentley, that's making it. No joke. For me, this is making it. I have made it because I've got an old, broken Bentley. And that's what I got to show for years of hard work. Anyway, let's get this thing back to the house. I don't think we're gonna have any serious problems out of this car at all. You guys have any idea how badly I want to take this car home with me today? I can't, because the Tesla has a service appointment tomorrow for TPMS sensors and an alignment. So I have to leave this car here tonight and drive the Tesla home, but you can believe that tomorrow I'm gonna come back and get this car. So tomorrow I'm supposed to take my mom out for a movie, and I think this would be a wonderful car to pick her up in for movie and dinner night. What do you guys think? I think now that I've put 93 octane in it, it's a lot more responsive. It's a lot smoother. I think somebody had put some really cheap, crappy gas in this thing. It rides great. The stereo is absolutely amazing. Even with the top down, the stereo sounds wonderful in this. This is a phenomenal car. I don't care what anybody says. I love this car. Now, one thing that I don't love about it is the cost to fix just about anything that goes wrong with it. All right, so now that I've gotten away from traffic and I can kind of cruise these back roads all by myself, let's talk about maintenance. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons people are going to avoid these cars. And most people hate these cars because if you watch any YouTuber that's had one, you're going to see that they have spent thousands and thousands of dollars fixing the car, even if they were able to do it themselves. And most people are not going to be capable of working on this car themselves. Unless you're tenacious, like Tavarish, and you can just get in and just eat up the work. Good luck. Even the car wizard does not want to work on cars like these anymore. And honestly, I can't blame him. Even though I haven't actually worked on one of these myself, I have watched other YouTubers go through the ringer with these cars, and I understand. I do. I absolutely understand. If a starter goes out on this car, normally that wouldn't be a big deal for most cars, but for this particular car, it requires dropping the engine and the transmission. And even then, even once you get the motor and transmission out of the car, the starter is still buried. To have a shop do this job is going to run at least $4,000 for a starter. God forbid if you end up with a leaking oil pan or a rear main seal or who knows what else. And remember, this is all-wheel drive. There is a lot to make this car go down the road reliably, and I don't even know if you can use reliably and Bentley in the same sentence. Now, with that said, this is one of those cars, and I can say it now that I've driven it about 40 miles. I've driven it almost 40 miles now. If you drive it, you will probably fall in love with it as long as it's not severely broken, and that's what's going to get you in trouble. You're going to start thinking with your heart and not with your brain. Your heart's going to tell you this is a phenomenal car. The W12 has great power. It's phenomenal sounding. It drives like an absolute dream, as long as it's not broken. But in reality, if you let logic take over, you're going to understand that if one or two things go wrong with this car, you're going to easily be upside down in it, not able to sell it broken, probably not able to get your money back out of it once it's fixed, and you could still end up with a ton of problems later on down the road. The smart thing to do if you ever come across one of these is don't buy it. Pass it up. Do not eat the forbidden fruit. In other words, don't do what I did. But if you do, I promise you, you're gonna love it. This car has satellite radio. It's got a Bang & sound system. The computer, boy, it's got tons of information in the computer, even for something as old as this. Remember, this is a 2008. The exhaust note is just something out of this world. It's beautiful. It gets the adrenaline pumping, guys. God, I love this car. Yes, it has Bluetooth, hands-free calling. It's literally got everything. I've got the heater on, and it feels great. I turned on the heated seats. They work. I mean, it's got a few quirks. It's got a few problems. It's a high-mileage Bentley. But at the end of the day, guys, this car is phenomenal. Now, before I forget, I want to show you the fuel economy. Since we filled up 19 miles ago, we're actually getting 16.4 miles a gallon, which in my opinion is not half bad. It still says that the hood is open. There's obviously some kind of a sensor under there that's got this thing thinking the hood is open when it's really not. Why don't we pop the hood and let's see, after 40 miles and some hard pulls, if we've got any smoke coming out from under the hood. It wouldn't surprise me if we've got leaking valve covers or something, especially after 90,000 miles. Sniff test. No? I don't see any. Are you serious? I don't see any smoke. The hood struts are no good. Now that the engine's nice and warmed up, I can't keep the hood open. Take a look. There's no smoke. Obviously, we have a check engine light. We're going to need to address that probably in the next video. We'll get it on the lift and we'll really check for any leaks. Probably take a peek at the suspension, see how all that stuff looks. Wow. And I think, is this an oil dipstick? This car comes with an oil dipstick? No kidding. It has a dipstick. I didn't know that. I didn't expect that. I ran the Carfax on this car, obviously, because I thought for sure this is too good of a deal. It's got 2 latches, so I like to make sure I push down on each of them. I ran a Carfax on this because I was like, $24,000 seems like too good of a deal, and I almost lost the car. So I won it in the auction, but the guy wanted $24,000 and I won it for like 22 or something like that, and he wouldn't budge. And I thought, oh, come on. So I went up to 23,000 and he canceled the auction on me. And by the time I was able to get the auction company to get in touch with him, he had actually already sent the car to a dealer auction like a day or 2 down the road. He sent it to a dealer auction. He said, no, I'm not interested in selling it. And I told him, I said, I'll give you 24. And he said, no, I'm not interested. I'm going to send it to the dealer auction and I'm going to see if I can do better there. I begged him. I said, I will give you your $24,000 right now. I'll pay for it immediately, sight unseen. And he accepted. And I got the car for $24,000 plus shipping from Florida all the way here was not cheap. The auction fees were like $300, $350. That's nothing to really think about. But the transportation fee was around $1,000. So, you know, by the end of the day, you're looking at a $25,000 Bentley, and I still feel like that's a steal of a deal for a car that runs and drives as good as this one does. It needs a good cleaning. This would be a perfect candidate to send down to Brian at the auto spa. I guarantee he can make the leather look a lot better. He could get the body polished up, the wheels and tires looking really good. Oh, I thought I had a flat. It's also got TPMS sensors. It does not have a flat. I'm sitting on a ledge right here. It's an awkward angle and the tire's sitting on it, but I think this car will clean up pretty nice, guys. That silver color, God, it's just beautiful. The grille, take a look at that. It is just a stunning car, in my personal opinion. And at the end of the day, remember, even though I've got a new Bentley, and this is the most exotic car I've ever had on the channel, guys, I'm still the same person. I still like my older toys, and just ignore the yellow Prius. That one doesn't count, even though it's a decent car. I don't actually really like that one. You know, we've got the Monte Carlo over here that we're about to drop a 383 in. This thing hopefully will be gone soon. I bought this for fun, and honestly now it's just annoying to look at anymore. The Cavalier, and of course, you guys' favorite, my cheap $7,800 Tesla Model S P85. I also have the Cadillac ELR, which is sitting at my other house. I've sold quite a few cars, guys. There's a lot coming and a lot going. That's the nature of being a car dealer and a YouTuber. You've got to move stuff out to move new stuff in. So most recently, my truck sold, my 94 Chevy 1500 with the 383 stroker. This surprisingly sold for pretty good money. I got like $11,250 out of this. I think that's more than I paid for the truck. And then the Firebird, the car that nobody wanted, my 94 Pontiac Trans Am 25th anniversary edition. This is a car I couldn't get rid of. Nobody wanted it. I don't know why, but nobody wanted this car. Well, it finally sold today. I let it go. Currently, it's sold for $5,250, which means it's out of here, man. I'm cutting it loose. Now, we still are negotiating with the buyers. The buyers might come up. We might actually be able to pull a little bit more money out of that car. But regardless of whether they come up or not, I'm cutting that car loose for $5,250. So we're moving cars out, and obviously we got some new ones coming in, and this one right here, you know I've got to drive this for a while, guys. This car is more to me than just a car. And even though I pretended to be all bougie earlier, and it's all for fun and it's all for a YouTube video, I'm not really that way. I am the type that will blast some Leonard Skinner eating a cheeseburger, driving a Bentley down the road. That is honestly me. This car represents kind of a new level of success that I've had, a new level of success personally and on the channel. It's one of those things that I could never have imagined in a million years, being able to own something like this. And the fact is, it's finally cheap enough that I can afford it. With that, I'm going to get out of here. I want you guys to drop your comments below and tell me what you think. Do you love the Bentley as much as I do? I'm telling you, honest to God, I love the car. Part of it is because it was just so cheap, it was impossible to pass up. Part of it is the W12 that's under the hood. Almost 600 horsepower, all-wheel drive. You could literally drive this car in the snow, in the rain. It doesn't matter. This car is like, believe it or not, this is a Bentley that you could do just about anything with. You want to talk about a practical car? This is it. I'll be honest with you though, I would have preferred a hardtop over a convertible, but beggars can't be choosy. This is what the auction had, and this is what I bought. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button right now and the thumbs up button, and share the video with your friends. In the next video, we're going to get it on the lift, and we're going to take a look underneath and find out how bad is it really. It could be pouring oil or trans fluid or mineral oil or brake fluid or any number of other fluids that this car has. I also want to know what the check engine light is on for, so we're going to get into all of that in the next video. Drop those comments below, and until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.